Friday at 6 p.m. I just got off of work for the weekend and I am heading to the southwest side of Madison for the kickoff party of the first annual Madtown yarn shop hop. One of my pet peeves is kind of calling Madison Madtown, but I'll allow it this time. It is happening at Knit Circus. If you're not familiar, Knit Circus is a yarn dyer, an indie yarn dyeing company that specializes in gradients, and I will show you more once I get there. But they're kind of infamous, and I don't know the distribution outside of Madison, but they're pretty popular here. So they are holding a kickoff party at their yarn dyeing studio and store, so I'm heading there. Like I said, I just got off of work for the weekend. It's kind of drizzly and kind of crummy out, but that's okay. I'll be inside. I am wearing my Sherlock jumper that I just recently completed and talked about on my first episode. And so yeah, let's get this started. There's a lot going on in Madison tonight. There is the it's gallery night tonight in Madison, and gallery night is an event twice a year in spring and fall where area, local, as you may guess, art galleries, cafes, coffee shops, and some bars have local artists and wine and cheese and all that good stuff, beer specials, and yeah, it's a good time to walk around and look at local art. So that's happening right now too, and as well. Like I said, the first annual Madtown Yarn Shop Hop that is taking place at 10 different local yarn stores and 2 or 3 different fiber mills. And I've only been to a couple of them, so this is exciting. So let's do this. All right, you're along for the ride. All weekend long, I'm hitting all 10. One down, 9 to go. I just arrived at my favorite local yarn store, the Wisconsin Craft Market. Now this place is kind of weird. It's rather unassuming. This craft store is located in a mostly abandoned mall in this kind of center of the city. By abandoned, I mean pretty abandoned. There's a grocery store over there, and I think this used to be a Rocky Rococo. But the yarn selection here is unreal. Hey, so it's day 2 of the Madtown Yarn Shop Hop. It's Saturday afternoon. It's another dreary day out. As you can see, it was raining earlier. It's let up a bit. It is, like I said, it's 3 in the afternoon. It's one of those days that it feels challenging to leave the house if you don't have any important errands to run. It was kind of a cozy morning. I got a new cast on started. It's a donation knit for a friend. I'll share it with you soon. It's not going to take me very long. It is a baby item, so it will be on and off the needles quickly. It is really cute, so I'm excited to get working on it. But for now, we're going to hit up 3 local yarn stores. So let's go. Hey again, guys. So now that place was cool. I went to the Dancing Lamb in Evansville, Wisconsin, which is 30 minutes about south of Madison. And I was not expecting, it's someone's house, basically. It's an old Victorian house here right on Main Street. Huge house. Then the whole front part, few rooms in the front downstairs part are just fiber and yarn and knitting supplies and spinning wheels and looms and stuff. 2 corgis and a cat, and I got this awesome woolly wool yarn. I've been wanting kind of like a marled yarn like this for a few months now, and I couldn't resist. That was cool, and the lady who lives there was super nice, just super talkative, super into local fibers and local wools and sheep breeds, and she had tea and little antique vintage teapots and teacups and little treats. That was really cool. It's good to know that places like this existed. I never would have known otherwise outside of the shop hop. So I spent a little bit longer there than I was planning. So I'm running out of time here. I'm probably just going to be able to hit 1 more today, and then tomorrow will be a full day.
Wisconsin, northeastern Dane County in south central Wisconsin, southwestern Dodge County in southeastern Wisconsin until 5:45 p.m. At 5:11 p.m., a confirmed tornado was located over Sun Prairie, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. Hazard, damaging tornado.
That's a tornado!
Source, law enforcement confirmed tornado. Impact, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. Locations impacted include Eastern Madison, Sun Prairie, Windsor, Columbus, Marshall, Cottage Grove, Fall River, Reevesville, Lowell, Deonsville, East Bristol, Danville, and Tolkien Creek. To repeat, a tornado is on the ground.
The skies appear to be less threatening than they were when I was driving headed east down 94. I think I was underneath that cloud when I think that might be a funnel cloud, but I'm not sure. This is what it looks like now to the west. Still sunny, very bright. Got many different clouds over here. And this is pushing off to the east. Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, the final day of the Madtown Yarn Hop Shop, or whatever, you know. And I didn't get very far yesterday. I was planning on going to 3, and I only made it to 1. Part of that is I left way too late, and the other part was the tornado that happened spontaneously yesterday. And I'm sitting here in my backyard this morning, and my housemates were home at the time. I obviously was driving, but my housemates were here at home, and a part of the tree fell into the fence there. So apparently my housemate said she was sitting right here at the table, as she does often, and she said it started raining hard and it got really windy, like very, very windy, and so she decided to pack up and head inside. And as she was doing so, that branch fell off the tree and took out part of the fence. So that's crazy. Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with tornadoes in a way. So it's been eventful. I've made more of a deal than most people would, but I kind of have a fascination about tornadoes. Always have since I was a kid. So I've never actually seen one on the ground in real life, but that was probably the closest that I came to seeing one yesterday. So it's a nice day today. Sun's out. It's gonna be out all day. Not a cloud in the sky. And I have 6 places to go to today before 6 p.m. So let's get the show on the road. Alright, so it's now noon, and it's again taking me longer than I had imagined. On my way out to the country here, a road was closed heading to the highway, so I had to do like a detour through downtown Madison. But I made it out here, and after a quick stop at the Rainbow Fleece Farm, which was the most southwestmost stop on the tour, I am now up in Mount Horeb, and on my way here to the yarn store on Main Street, the whole main street is closed because there is a street festival. So let's do this and hopefully get some good food at the street festival.
His little goat keeps getting his face into it and eating it. I'm sorry.
So this is where they sort the fiber, and this is fiber that's already been washed and it is on drying racks. They said that this fiber is a customer's and it is exceptionally clean, so they had minimum processing. And this is the natural color of the fibers. This is just a shot of it's kind of the first and the last step in their process. It is to the left there, you can barely see the carding table, and on the floor there are bags of, they call them greased, which are the fibers, the unprocessed fibers that they get from their customers that were shorn directly off the sheep, put into a plastic bag, and sent to them. So on the carding table, they sift through vegetable matter and other items in the fleece, and then on the right there are the drying racks that you found that I showed you in the first slide. And here in the center, we have an old KitchenAid stove that they use for dyeing, and then also the big stainless steel vat for dyeing. Okay, now these next slides are the carder machine, and this machine they said dated back to 1901 and between 1901 and 1905. This is where and I'm not going to explain it as well as he did, but if you are familiar with the process at all, it's where they take the fiber and they card it, and then it goes into this little tube and up this little conveyor belt, as you can see, up and over onto the next machine, and that further processes it. And at the very end here this is called pencil roving, and this is basically unplied. It's not yarn yet, it's unplied, so there's no twist. If you pulled it together even like lightly, it would break. So this is the pencil roving, which from here then goes to the spinning machine. And the spinning machine adds the ply, which adds the durability to the yarn. And like I said, this is the end of the photos that I got from the tour. After it gets plied, it gets put onto paper bobbins, and from there it gets either dyed or skeined up on the skeining machine and sold as undyed natural wool yarn. Hey, so I hope you enjoyed my little rinky-dink tour that I tried to put together there for you. Like I said, I am just learning the process of wool myself, so I'm not very knowledgeable myself, but I wanted to share a little bit of what I saw this weekend. And I did pick up a skein at the Woolen mill. This is just 100% wool. This is brown and cream. I know the lighting in here is garbage and I'm not going to record very much more in here right now, but it's brown with an undyed cream. And as you can see, they call this bulky weight, but I very much consider this worsted. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to make with it yet. I think I'm going to make a shawl or a scarf, probably. It is a sheepy wool. It's toothy and or rustic, as you may call it, which is like the nice way of saying that it could irritate some, basically. It's not a super wash. It's some people could wear this next to skin, but I'm going to make it probably a shawl. And I hope to return to the mill again and buy a sweaters quantity at some point. Here, they do have an open house in November coming up. And let me just, this is glossy paper, but that right there is the yarn plier, which I failed to take a picture of myself. They're having an open house in November, and I will go there with a sweater project in mind, and I will buy enough for a sweater. But for now, I couldn't resist taking this guy home. And this smells like a grandma's house on the farm or something. It's like sheepy and delicious, and but also like that like Mary Kay like baby powder scent smell. You know what I mean? Because I got this at the Dancing Lamb store in Evansville. Not at the wool mill. I got this in Evansville. And the lady's house is much like the house that I'm coming to you from, the house that I rent. This house was built in probably 1904. And so it's an old Victorian style house. It just smells like your grandma's house. So yeah, that's thanks again for watching. I'm gonna cut this one short. I'm just gonna do the yarn shop hop in this episode. I'm calling this episode like 2.1. There will be a whips and foes episode, another about half an hour podcast that I'll put together sometime this week. And here's my passport from this weekend, and as you can see, other than my email address, which you can email me at if you want, but I did not make it to all 10 stores. Oh my gosh. I made it to 7, and I'm okay with that. The 7, as it is, was a lot of driving, a lot more than I had planned. And some things were out of my control, like, well, I mean, not really. Like, I could have left earlier on Saturday, but I'm fine with it. This is just for entering into the few. There was a few grand prize winners, but I have this little coupon. Oops, where's the camera? I have this little coupon for 10% off your purchase in the month of November at any store. I could use it at the wool mill and get 10% off my sweater quantity of yarn. That's what I think I'll do. So yeah, there we have it. My little fiber festival shop hop here in Madison. I hope you enjoyed. I'm very new at editing videos, as you may tell, so this has been an amateur production, but yeah, thanks for joining me, and in the meantime, happy making, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!